Something I've been doing wrong for years is trying to make my work easier for other people to categorize, to niche down, to put into a box. I am an oracle psychic intuitive. I am a hypnotherapist who loves talking about limiting beliefs, mindset work. I am an artist, filmmaker, musician. Lead retreats and events. I am the OracleFest founder. I love doing podcasts. I'm not interested in cutting off any of these parts of myself. And so I really have now shifted in not wanting my work to fit inside some little container, but more to speak to all of it. I think that's the next evolution of my heart's frontier. The idea for me in this business name has stuck with me for so long because it still feels like there's more. There's this expanse beyond that we are not sure about. We wander it together, hearts forward. I actually see and I get to work with lovely and many, many, many people who have multiple genuine callings. I don't believe that people have only one mission that they are here to serve, even if they're not all career focuses. It may be that someone feels very tied to a specific career, but then I also see they have callings in certain volunteer work or certain creative ventures that are not meant to be business for them for whatever reason. And usually, because of our social constructs and the way that our world works in this capitalist society, people are trying to choose the most profitable potential or like the most logically or conventionally sensible thing when they're looking at their multiple callings. And people will give the advice of picking a lane, right? So I had many years where my creative work absolutely disappeared behind all the healing work. Embracing both of them felt so risky because it already felt like, wow, a lot of people really doubt that healing and spiritual work can ever even be something that can sustain someone, let alone adding in trying to be an artist on top of that. Then the time division and everything, right? People will say you need to go and be like a master at something in order to succeed when it comes to these unconventional or out of the box careers. They're less and less so out of the box nowadays, I'll say, though. We're in a really unprecedented time where spiritual and artistic work is definitely shifting, I think, in the larger collective. At least that's what maybe it's just who I'm listening to and who I happen to interact with. Maybe people just don't want to be rude to my face. But I find a lot of everyday people using a lot more spiritual vernacular. And I see that a lot more people are able to express their creativity when they are well resourced, however they're finding that. So, my music for many years, when I was in my early 20s, people would ask me when I might be creating an album because I did have many songs even then. Now I have a plethora, way more songs than I even can make for one album, two albums. I think I'm actually at least with 3 strong albums at the moment for what is potentially down the line. But I had always returned to this as like, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, because it felt so risky to try and take on too many things. And so many people said it's so hard to make any money with music. And so I was really scared about my well-being, my place in the world, if I really gave it my all, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, that was how my life needed to go. And then I was recently brought back to my visual art desires. I used to draw and do art all the time when I was younger, and it felt like a really positive outlet. And I struggled in my adult life to embrace the visual artist side of myself. I think because you go through that period of feeling like you're just terrible at it. And so, yeah, I just needed to allow myself to play this year. And it feels like that is now coming back into center. And the historicals TV series or production that I'm looking to do, to me, suits all of this work so well, even though it may not feel directly related to my music, for example. To me, it is because it also connects to OracleFest, and then that connects back to the Heart's Frontier, where we are now, which is basically the closer and more personal healing and remembering work that I do is under Heart's Frontier. So Heart's Frontier is like me and the many interests that I'm pursuing when it comes to healing and personal growth. the retreats themselves are something that I've wanted to do for a long, long, long time, probably a decade. So it's very interesting to me now, 10 years later, that I'm able to feel like I can pursue the music. My art can make a comeback for myself, but also for clients, because I'm coming at it with like a depth of understanding now. And that I'm able to finally live this dream life of running retreats. This is what I've wanted for over a decade of my life. And I think that even though you can see a lot of my different projects as perhaps disconnected, right? I've often presented them as separate things, and that can be confusing. It might look really separate if someone only discovers me through OracleFest, for example. Oh, who's this? Oh, she also does other stuff. Oh, she's a musician. I don't, does this even connect? But to me, I have always seen and always felt the thread that runs through all of them. There's like a through line to me that feels so clear. And even though it has been confusing or called to question, I even question myself on the amount I'm saying yes to. To me, I'm like, yeah, there's an easy way that can happen in the next decade, because if I laid out for you what happened in my 20s, you would see, wow, a lot is possible if you actually just intend on it and allow life to happen. And I've lived this way for a long time. And so to me, it is very natural, but I realize now that it's actually also a skill and a permission slip you kind of have to give yourself. So, are there parts of yourself, are there aspects of you that didn't fit with your professional identity in some way? And so have you exiled it to another kingdom? And then what kind of things keep returning? For me, the idea of shamanic artist kept showing up in my mind like a neon light. And this is a few years ago. So even just me starting to embrace it now, it feels like I've been maybe dragging my heels a little. It's going to be a bigger payoff because of that, It'll be much more fulfilling because I've really looked forward to this time where I can pursue my art more freely as part of my work, right? That was the wish. And so if you are working on perhaps a much larger body of work over the course of your life, then you might actually require, and you probably do require, more than one medium or more than one outlet, and then more than one phase or chapter of each of those projects. And then our responsibility as big vision holders, if you're here and resonating with this, is to build structure for long enough that it can hold the entire vision, and to make changes as we go as needed. Because a lot of the times, I think the way that other people can reflect back to you, the way that other people sound, sometimes makes it feel like we are scattered. And I know I haven't been scattered, but it's easy to question, isn't it? Especially when we're used to looking at the external world for proof, for validation and evidence. And I often like to remind myself that I'm playing the long game, and these are things that I'm building that can take the course of my whole life if that's the way they're meant to go. And so lovingly, I try not to force it to be something right away. And I also try not to stand in the way of it. Whatever the vision is wanting, I'm looking to serve it, them, myself, and hopefully the community, all of you. So if you are one of those people who is building a life that is outside of the box in some kind of way, I hope that you will subscribe. I hope that you will subscribe and that you will like the video and maybe write a comment, say hello, or tell me what it is you're creating or building, because this space, the Heart's Frontier, this channel, is to me now a home and umbrella for healing, for intuition, for subconscious beliefs and the mind, and talking philosophy and psychology stuff as it comes up. It's for art and some history, storytelling as well. It's for people who are very passionate and visionary, who are intuitive in some way, sensitive, if you find yourself to be a sensitive being. You are remembering who you are, then you belong here, and I love you. I really do. And please tell me in the comments, what part of you is wanting to come back? That's a big question. I hope you take a moment and answer it. Place a hand on your heart. Settle the mind. Try not to think it through, but feel what answer arises. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, and we will hopefully cross paths soon.